Exercise. Partial iteration. There may be times that a task doesn't require you to iterate through an entire array. Imagine, for example, you're going to produce a play based on the messages from the previous page. The actor playing the dormouse might want to know if their first appearance isn't until midway through the messages, so they can sleep a bit later on rehearsal day. Your task on this page is to report the index of the first message that contains a given character's name. A for in loop will always execute its body for each of the elements in an array, so even though you could use this type of loop to solve the problem, it would be inefficient, especially for the characters who appear early. Instead, you'll use a while loop. While loops are a bit like if statements. They require a condition before the loop body. The condition is evaluated before each iteration of the loop. The first time it evaluates to false, the loop exits. The code below uses a while loop to calculate factorial numbers. So we have let factorial number to calculate get 7. And then we have a variable x gets 1. And then variable result gets 1. So while x is less than or equal to the number we are going to calculate, we get result, which starts at 1, times equals, so it's taking the value of x and multiplying it by result, and then assigning that to result. And then we have x adds 1, so plus equals 1. So when x is 2, it's going to do the same thing. So it's going to take result times equals x, and then x plus equals 1. And then at the end, when it's finished with that, it's going to print factorial number to calculate, and then the result. So we have 7 exclamation point, so factorial 7 gets 5,040. Exercise. Write code below to iterate through the Alice messages array until the first time you encounter a message for the given character. Then print out the index of that message and exit the loop. Don't print anything if the character isn't found. Use a Boolean variable to keep track of whether you've found a message and an index variable that you increment in the loop. Make sure to test your code with names that won't turn up any messages to account for potential bugs. So names that wouldn't be in the list. Your conditional will be a compound Boolean expression. So we have let character get, and let's look for caterpillar. And then we have a variable, index, and we want that to start at 0. And then a variable, found message. And at first, we have not found the message, so that's going to be false. Then we're going to make a while loop. So while, and then found message. So not found message, so not false, this would evaluate to true because it's not false. And index is less than Alice messages length, so Alice messages.count. So that's our while loop. If Alice messages at the index of index, so again, starting at 0, index contains, so dot contains, and then we're looking for the character that we stated above, then found message gets assigned true. So we found this character in whatever index we are currently looking at. And then print, we're looking for the index number because they want to know what line they start on, essentially what message they start on. Else, so if we haven't found that message yet, we are going to increase index by 1, and we are going to continue in this loop. So index plus equals 1. So now we found Xcode is having a hard time today. So this should give me what line we found caterpillar on. So it should be 151. But anyway, that is how you complete this lesson.